Yeah, the move. Whatever hand you hit, you move to that side. Left hook, boom! You gotta think of throwing punches. Your job is to throw.
Sheep, it will become a sheep.
Anthony Joshua is reportedly training with Mike Tyson ahead of his upcoming bout against Jake Paul. Joshua has been studying classic techniques from Tyson's camp to sharpen his skills, while focusing on strategy, speed, and power. The training emphasizes tactical planning and conditioning, aiming to make Joshua fully prepared and at peak performance for the challenge inside the ring.
Doing it in the gym, coming forward, punching to the body with his heart.
Anthony Joshua revealed how Mike Tyson inspired him, particularly with his strength and discipline. AJ has now added specialized neck and shoulder exercises to his routine following Tyson's methods. He explains these drills boost power, stability, and punching effectiveness, demonstrating how learning from legends directly shapes his own approach in the gym.
The neck exercise that I got from Mike Tyson, a lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges. And it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise if you...
Mike Tyson offered advice to Anthony Joshua, praising him as an exceptional fighter. He stressed that staying active in the ring is crucial for growth, explaining that constant competition sharpens skills, builds confidence, and helps maintain top-level performance in every fight.
Would you give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You have to be game, and then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost. You may have got $30 million. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do it.
Anthony Joshua is undergoing intense training, incorporating elements of Mike Tyson's style. He performs targeted neck rolls and strength exercises to enhance resilience and power, focusing on conditioning, speed, and precision. These workouts aim to improve punching impact, agility, and stamina, showing AJ's commitment to mastering his craft and dominating the ring.
Whoa, my physio's looking at me like, what the fuck? I can see you looking at me like, fuck, please don't fuck me. Hey, if it goes, at least you're here anyway. You know, 43,000 tuned in. Oh, mate. I know I started this shit.
Just want to set up the physio table, put the flats on it.
Anything.
Get back up there.
I'm easy, boss.
Eat.
Showtime sent me a lovely picture of me with the dolphin.
Eddie Hearn has stated he believes Anthony Joshua would beat Jake Paul if the fight happens. Hearn notes that while Paul is not a top-level boxer or widely recognized in traditional boxing, Joshua's victory would not be guaranteed. He highlights Joshua's history of defeating elite fighters like Francis Ngannou, emphasizing that his success comes from skill, preparation, and discipline rather than facing untested opponents.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
Nigel Benn has voiced concerns about how entertainment-focused fights affect professional boxing. He argues that when celebrities or social media stars compete, traditional boxers who dedicate their lives to rigorous training are often underpaid. Ben points out that crossover events generate massive audiences and sponsorships, giving huge paydays to participants with less experience, potentially undermining the efforts of true professional fighters.
Bit of rumours around today, Anthony Joshua And
Oh
Jake
no, no,
Paul.
no, no. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, it's I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all them influencers coming in there, and there's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion should be fighting like someone in the top 5, top 10. So I ain't really got much time to talk about that.
Do
Not
you think it's
interested really.
bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion? No, not at all.
Australian boxing. Any who are you a fan of? Obviously got good fighters out there.
Jai,
John Pryor,
Jai, yeah,
June.
Jai's my type of fighter. He's very spiteful, and it's just another level, really. I don't think there's no better cruiserweight around.
Oladipo highlights the financial aspect of an Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. He believes it would be unwise for Joshua to turn down a payday approaching $100 million. For a fighter of Joshua's experience, Paul poses minimal risk compared to the massive reward, making this a low-risk, high-reward scenario. Oladipo stresses that such financial opportunities are rare, and taking it is a smart career move.
If someone knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million?" You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Like, well, why are you going to turn down 100 million? AJ should and could, more should, knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Just. Like, AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better boxer. Like, this is a...
Many boxing fans openly criticize the idea of Anthony Joshua fighting Jake Paul. They see it as undermining professional boxing, pitting a seasoned champion against a social media personality lacking real experience. Fans worry that accepting the fight could prevent Joshua from pursuing a bout with Tyson Fury, a more legitimate opponent. Social media is filled with debates questioning whether Joshua's legacy could be affected by such a mismatch.
Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. It's, I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bit. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there is a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital world, and that's...
Analysts note that Jake Paul's decision to fight Anthony Joshua represents a major step up in competition. Unlike the older or retired fighters he previously faced, Joshua is an active professional who regularly faces top-tier opponents. This forces Paul to adjust his training, strategy, and mindset, as he can no longer rely on inexperienced or past-prime opponents. While still the underdog, the fight tests Paul's abilities more realistically.
Maybe even bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless, because Joshua is a big name, and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signed to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing, you know, to tell you it's close. Just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua...
Shane McGuigan has expressed doubt over whether an Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight will happen. He describes the matchup as far-fetched, citing logistical and contractual hurdles that could prevent it. McGuigan notes that while media hype exists, the fight may not make sense for Joshua if he aims to maintain sporting credibility, reflecting broader concerns in boxing about prioritizing entertainment over legitimate competition.
Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul reports. What do you make of it? And if we were to see AJ step in with Jake Paul?
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, I think it's fast. I just don't see how it's going to materialise. I didn't think the tank fight would materialise, and it didn't. And you know, it's all good saying that you're going to box somebody, and then, you know, but until literally they're on the ring walk and in the ring, and I'm not going to believe it.
Away from AJ, what do you make of the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight next week?
It's an interesting fight. Haney's up at 147. He looks good. He looks physically good. It's mad to think he's only 26 years of age. Confident-wise, I don't know what that Garcia fight took out of him. You know, because yes, he tested positive afterwards, but I believe that his Achilles heel is punch resistance, and I think, you know, it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Norman, but I think, you know, definitely test him, and maybe Devin Haney will hold a better shot now. He's up at 147. But yeah, it's an exciting matchup. You know, I think it's a.
Analysts have observed a shift in how Jake Paul is viewed in boxing. Once seen primarily as a celebrity, he is now gaining recognition as a legitimate fighter due to the higher level of competition he faces. This growing credibility influences fans, trainers, and commentators, showing respect for his efforts, though it does not place him on the same level as elite boxers like Joshua.
I feel like the one that I was most clear from you was the Anderson Silva one. Where Anderson Silva had like one sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, you know, doing it what Anderson Silva does and missing everything and cracks him and whatever. And then he just, like, the next few rounds, he's back to, like, just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around. Doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to, like, faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends, right? Like of the sport. Like you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy is losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, all right, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns around on.
People are starting to take Jake Paul more seriously, acknowledging that he trains diligently, studies techniques, and accepts challenging fights. This shift affects his career trajectory, as increased recognition can attract higher profile bouts and more skilled opponents. Analysts note that while Paul is still developing, being respected marks a significant change in how crossover fighters are perceived in boxing circles.
You probably know some other stuff like
how much Anthony Joshua made.
Is he in debt? Does he have to do? You know, they know these.
There's an outside motivation to want to do it. Yeah.
And then that's probably why guys like Tyson or whatever would like, well, yeah, I need to pay some bills. Let's do it.
It also gets their name back out there, like in a big way.
And it has to be a big enough name that people are interested at all. Yeah.
And I think at this point, Jake Paul is taken a little more seriously than before. Like, if it was the first fight, I think it's a lot different. But then at this point, I think it's more like, oh yeah, it's a thing. It's an exhibition. It's
a model.
Yeah. This has got to be big money because even Anthony Joshua's last fight that he lost, he reportedly earned about 25 million pounds. And when he fought Francis Ngannou in March, he approximately made $50 million.
Wow.
So, like, rumor mill has it so that Jake Paul is set to potentially Jake Paul might earn $92 million.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis. Until next time, make sure to follow for all the latest in boxing news and commentary.